It's James Holder for iFILM London. I'm in the Sports Cape Bar today for the announcement of new signing Hughie Fury and press conference for Tyson Fury versus Stephen Cunningham on April the 20th. What's happening, Mick? You all right?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm excited. Like, I can't put into words how much this means to me. Really, a big day because it's a dream for me to promote at Madison Square Garden. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm doing it. I've had the opportunity a couple of times with Tyson to do fights in the US, but I wanted to go in with a big splash. You know, a lot of fighters go on undercards which are not televised. They're in front of a crowd, an empty crowd at a big arena early in the afternoon, and that weren't what I wanted for Tyson. I wanted him to go in with a real big splash, and don't get any bigger than this. Madison Square Garden, network TV, the whole of America can look at it if they want. You know, this is a special situation and a great fight as well. A hard fight, a difficult fight. So, really excited. And as for Hughie Lewis Fury, wow. You know, what a place for him to fight so early in his career. And what a talent. I mean, I can't say enough about this kid. I know him. I know him really well. I've seen him tough it out in gyms in Canada, in the US, in Europe, in England. I know what this kid's made of. He's special. You know, people saying to me as a heavyweight, you know, Sky just mentioned to me, do I think he's a better prospect than Anthony Joshua? Yes, I do.
I could see the glow in your face. When you announced today, I could see that, well, you're happy with having this young man in your camp, you know?
I'm over the moon. And he's 18. And he's as hard as nails. He's as tough as they come. He's like, you know, this is a force to be reckoned with. This really is something special. So
he's definitely nobody's fool, Hughie Fury, I'll tell you that.
No, he's and do you know what as well? He's very, like, he's a gentleman, the kid. He really is. He carries himself well. He's very professional. He trains like no one I've ever seen before. In fact, I think he's been a great influence on Tyson, where, like, because Tyson's brought him into his camp. He loves him, and he's had him, like, he's brought him everywhere with him, whether he's been in Europe, like, everywhere. And he's good company for Tyson, but he's been a good influence with the pair of them, you know, together. And you see where Tyson's at. Tyson's, for me, by far the best heavyweight in the world right now, and he'll be a legend of the sport.
Tyson Fury, he wins this fight, he then becomes the number one to have a mandatory, is that right? For a final eliminator to get a shot at the Klitschko's?
Yeah, you've got to have a structure in place, a countdown of fights, because there's too much politics with some of the governing bodies, and everything's very vague. So I've got a situation here in writing where the Cunningham fight is for the number 2 spot. The winner of that fight then has to fight the leading contender in the number 1 spot for the mandatory position in a final eliminator. So Tyson really is 2 fights away on IBF rules from fighting Vladimir Klitschko.
Do you think the Klitschko's wouldn't take a voluntary? Do you honestly think that option is not an option? Tyson has to go the mandatory route to get that shot?
Well, listen, 6 months ago I would have said, yeah, I think they don't want it. Right now, I'll tell you they definitely don't want it. I know that for a fact. They want no part of Tyson. They've had the chance. If you're looking for a huge heavyweight who can fight, who's a big character, who's unbeaten, who's going to sell...
It'll put bums on seats, won't it? That's the truth.
Yeah, in a monster fight worldwide, you don't look no further than Tyson Fury. When you're having it offered, let's do it, whether it's Vitaly or Vladimir, when you're having it offered and you don't want no part of that, it is what it is. So I've had no choice. I can't wait around no more. I've had to absolutely do this deal, 2-fight deal, to make Tyson world champion. And let's face it, we'd like to fight a Klitschko, because Tyson don't want to just step in and pick up a title. He wants to go up against who everyone feels is the best and has been the best for the last 10 years. So we're going after him.
Tyson looks so strong, so fit at the moment. He's, as I say, but do you think that's Hughie again? That kind of, what's the word? That camaraderie, that bond, that pushing each other that little bit further.
Yeah, I think Hughie's been a great influence on him. Obviously, Tyson, there's a world of stuff that Tyson teaches Hughie, but Hughie's got a great work ethic. But it's all held together by, you know, Hughie's dad and Tyson's uncle, Peter. I mean, he's the man who's orchestrated it. I mean, he's the man who's got Hughie into the shape he is to win a world title at 18. He's the man who's turned Tyson's career around, training and fitness and technique and everything else. He's got him into a supreme athlete. So, you know, a lot of credit has got to go to Peter Fury. He has done what he's done. Well, a tremendous job, unbelievable job.
You're doing the right thing with getting him into the mandatory position, because we all want to see super fights. I would have loved to have seen, before David Price got beat, Fury and David Price getting it on. And sometimes if we wait for these super fights, we just see Price has lost, and now that fight may not happen, you know? So I just think you going getting him in the mandatory position is the best thing you could possibly do, really.
It is. Look, I'm not being funny here and I'm not being disrespectful, but we liked the Price fight. We thought it'd be the same outcome as Tyson, as what's just happened. Tyson's a better fighter than Tony Thompson. But it was always going to be a summer fight. It was going to be a stadium fight, a big arena fight. That's how it was going to work. And we was going to put, you know, it was going to happen on our terms, because we weren't going to have them gate crashing what Tyson's done and what he's achieved. Tyson's had 20 fights, he's higher in the rankings, he's had better fights, he's had harder fights, he's higher profile. We weren't going to have them gate crash that. If they was going to have the fight, it was going to be on our terms. We was going to make them a take it or leave it offer to do a stadium fight in the summer. But we always knew, as a team, that he was running the gauntlet with fights, because it could happen. We knew that. So, did we want him to win the Thompson fight? Yes, we did. We wanted him to win it, and at the end of the day, you know, it's crazy, really. But we was always going to do that fight. If we couldn't get a Klitschko fight, we was going to make them a serious offer for a summer fight. So, but they've messed up now. So,
appreciate your honesty, Mick. Thank you very much. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about one of your favourite fighters, Mr. Lenny Dawes. He's going in Italy to fight, I hope I pronounce his right, Michel de Roco. I hope I got that right, Michel. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a tough assignment because it's in Italy. Lenny's earned the right. He was kind of hovering at domestic level, and I said to Lenny, forget the British title. I want to manoeuvre you. I want to get you a European title fight. I believe you're good enough to win a European title fight. And you know, everything thereafter is a bonus. You know, that'll put you high up in the rankings. You could get a world title fight. He took my advice. I got him an EU title. We got him in the rankings. We got him in the right position, and bingo, they called for a purse bid. Unfortunately, I lost that purse bid.
Would you tell us how much you went up for to bid for that fight? Is that something you can discuss with me?
I'm not sure. I think it was. I couldn't tell you the actual figure, but it was in the region, probably roughly about 70,000 euros or something. I think it was something like that. But I lost it narrowly, tightly.
Did that hurt you? Because I know how much you've pushed Lenny, and he was your first boxer you signed, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, I did. I mean, I pushed the boat out for that fight because it was probably going to be a chief support on a really big card. So I pushed the boat out for it, and to lose it so narrowly, yeah, it did hurt me. And I spoke to Lenny about it, but Lenny was, you know, as always, a true professional. Have gum shield, will travel. You know, if I'm right, I'll beat this kid, Mick. I'm going to go for it. Doesn't matter where it is at the end of the day. You know, I've got to do what I've got to do. So
his date gets settled and he doesn't get pushed back. Because it seems to me, from a boxing point of view, look, he's being prolonged, and they're kind of, you know, edging him on.
Doesn't get messed around. Yeah, I had this in the past with, you know, Junior Witter, Howard Eastman. I had it in the past. So you know, I'd be lying to say if I weren't worried about that. I am concerned about that. And after the last time, because they actually put the fight that when you do a purse bid, you have to do it within 60 days, and the date they gave us was outside of the term. So we protested that strongly, and we got the backing of the British Boxing Board of Control. But it went to the board in the EBU, and they voted to allow them the extension. So they've had one extension. So as far as I'm concerned, there's not another one. This is it. If they don't fight Lenny Dawes on that date, you know, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that bid either comes back to us or, you know, he fights someone else.
Well, Mick, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to iFILM London. I'm looking forward to your Blue Water show, seeing DeGale out as well, as that's a great bill, and I wish Tyson Fury the best in luck in America. We make no bones about us supporting British fighters when it comes to them fighting people abroad. That's what we do. So I'm wishing Tyson the best of luck, and well done. I think you're doing a sterling job with him. I really do.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, James. Appreciate that. And you've been watching iFILM London.
We're going to leave that there.
iFILM.